apart from what Lucy enumerated in terms of getting loan at affordable
finance, the market and the incentives.
Yes. Do we have the capacity now? What's your current capacity?
Okay, so anytime I'm asked this question about capacity, I always say that capacity is very relative. So we have 34 companies that do manufacturing currently, and then they have equipment.
You said 34?
34, and they have equipment. Equipment meaning that they have machines and they have the human resource. Now, I have an installed capacity to, let's say, per company, do maybe 10 million tablets. But that's, of course, if I'm running a shift of 8 to 5. Now, in the event that I have a demand for a product, and then, of course, the market is guaranteed, I'm going to be paid on time. All I need to do is ensure that I run 2 or 3 shifts. So relatively, I can triple that installed capacity because there is that demand. And even if the demand is guaranteed and for a long time, I can bring in more machinery to support. So installed capacity, yes, we have the capacity. We are underutilizing the capacity we have currently. And like Pharmacist Remboche mentioned, because we don't actually have that national agenda to promote and protect the industry, we are not doing more for the industry. Because if we are, then what we will see is that most of the medicines we would have in the country are used in the country will actually be manufactured locally.
Okay, thank you very much. We are now joined, is it via Zoom, by Professor Kwesi Adomako Ohemen, the Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy at Central University. Dean, can you hear us? If you can, may we hear your brief thoughts on COVID-19 and the capacity of the pharma industry in Ghana? Well, whilst we try, yes, we can hear you. Yes, Dean. Dean, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you now, Dean. Dean, may we have your brief comment on the theme?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry I couldn't join you, and I've enjoyed your discussions a lot. I think that you have raised several issues, but I need just to make a couple of comments. That the drug manufacturing process is very lucrative. Everybody thinks that we should do it. We have the scientists which can do it, but there are 2 issues. This is a very lucrative, capital-intensive area, and it's also capitalist-oriented, in that when you put in the money, you must get your money back. Looking at our market volume is so tiny that when you invest the money, you won't get the money back. And secondly, the major player in the purchase of these drugs is the government. Yes. And they would like to take the products without paying for it. I think that we can go in 2 ways. Either it's a government business. In this case, the government should be prepared to pay the scientists just like they pay their football coaches, not the meager salaries that we are giving to the Ghanaian scientists around here, because we will not attract the good scientists. If you're going to go to the private sector, we should be prepared. The government should be prepared that after we have invested the money, we will buy their product, and the contract needs to be signed. It's going to take us 5 to 10 years to come out with drugs. Currently, if you look at the manufacturing section in Ghana of the pharma industry, they are just packaging generic drugs. This COVID-19 is here, and no African is doing anything which will bring a drug. We are just sitting at the bar waiting for the white man to come out with a drug. It was the same thing with HIV, it's the same thing with Ebola, and COVID-19 will go, and then COVID-25 will come. But the Africans, we are not prepared to put in the money. There's so much noise made by the government that they want to invest in this area. But I've been here, I came with Professor Latte, and I stepped out Equatoria, and Professor Latte said, like, great. We haven't got any convincing discussion with the government for us to continue. So, yes, we make a lot of noise, but we should prepare to do the right things to generate the interest of the African scientists who are a bundle of them in the US, and they will come home and help us to set up the industry. I think that's all the comments that I want to add to this section. Thank you.
Yes, Prof. But before you go, one last question to you. Often we say that government is not supporting or government should lead the way. What are we doing as scientists, as manufacturers, to even find a cure on our own? I know that sometimes in advanced countries, people also try to do this on their own. But are we making any steps at all on our own? Before then
I
we
don't
ask,
think I got your question very well. Can you repeat it?
Question is that what are we doing as pharmacists, as researchers, to try to find a cure so that we can say that we have gone to this level? Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, we say that we have done up to 5. Government, can you add 5 for us? I'm saying that we are blaming government, but what are we doing on our own to find a cure?
Well, if I hear you well, you are asking me what can we do as pharmacists to come out with drugs. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, a cure for COVID-19.
Well, so far as I'm concerned, I don't see anybody doing anything. The last time I tried to get a few scientists together for some of them to grow the COVID-19 for us, and they were not very interested. They are scared. I think that those guys at the biochemistry department at University of Ghana, they are capable of getting us the virus. If we can get people who get the virus for us, I myself, there are several ways that we can go ahead to come out with drugs. But remember that this is not like $1,000 business. You're talking about 2 million, 3 million to start. Yes. Are people ready to give us the money to start? No. I'm afraid if I ask for 10 million to give 5 million to the politician as bribe, they will give us. But if I said I want the money purely for that research, it's very difficult. This is where the commitment is not. People are more interested in their pocket than what we can do. So that's what I will tell you. Currently, nobody is doing anything meaningful, so far as I'm concerned, in the drug discovery process in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Prof. I did ask Dr. Appiah the same question as to what they are doing to find a cure. So we are very grateful. Now, we can take 2 questions from members of the media. If you're ready, please, may you come up here. Then we'll give you your mic to ask your question. Is there any question from members of the media? Yes, please. Please, you may come over here and ask your question. I'm thinking of giving her a mic so that anybody can answer. Yes. Sorry, I need to walk up to you. Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'm Lydia. I report for Ghana News Agency. And my question is about the price Madam Lucy talked about. And we know that, or we've learned that vitamin C, the soluble one, or whatever, is very important for anybody who wants to, boost the immune system. But we could see that the pricing is very high. We used to buy it about 20 cedis or so. Now it's about 40 cedis. Just a while ago this morning at the entrance, I asked for some. It's 40 cedis. And the content is even reduced, 17 capsules inside that pack. It used to be 20. And when you go to some of the pharmacies, you could even get one for about 50 cedis or more. So I want to know what you are doing. You talk about pricing, that you are making it cheaper for everybody to get access to medications. But here is the case that these medications that are supposed to help us or support our systems are very high. And it's going beyond the reach of the ordinary Ghanaian. What is industry doing about it? To ensure that we have this and the zinc.
Thank you very much. I think we can take this one. What's the next question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
they
so
want
much.
to ask a second question before.
So I'll make a few comments, and I'm sure my chairman would also add a few things. So it's important to know that I am representing the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and we manufacture the medicines. Now, this vitamin C going up to 40 cedis is vitamin C that is imported from abroad. It is not manufactured here. So it comes to tell us that Ghanaians like foreign things. Now, even to speak a little for them, it's important to know that pricing depends on a lot of things. We have to first of all look at the fact that it's imported. What is the current exchange rate? How further has the cedi depreciated over the period of time? We have to look at the product. Has the price gone up internationally? Because now, because supply chain is disrupted, a lot of prices are going up. The person who is bringing it in, what is the cost of capital? Are they raising a loan at 2% per month, 30%? What exactly is happening? And then how are they bringing it in? Because initially vitamin C was coming in by ship, which was more affordable. Now people are airlifting vitamin C, which means it's going to be more expensive. So there are a lot of things that goes in. And of course, there's Unipass and the Buhaha it comes with, the cost of demurrage and all of that. So it is to state that it is not a few individuals that want to make a lot of money off it. There are issues that need to be addressed. And that is why we need to promote and protect the local pharmaceutical industry. Because if we are doing that, then oranges will not get spoiled. We will just have to process the oranges, extract the vitamin C, and make it very affordable. Because currently we are even bringing vitamin C, the active pharmaceutical ingredient, from India, which should not be the case.
Yeah. My name is Kojo Ajman. I work with City FM. Mr. Botwe, it has come to the attention of the Ghana Health Service that Zithromax and then zinc and then hydrochloroquine are medicines that are being used to treat COVID-19. Have you had any conversations with government in terms of harnessing these drugs to our advantage? That's number one. Number two, you also made mention that government should prioritize the pharmaceutical industry. How do you want the government to do so? And have you had conversations or engagement with the government? Because I know that there's an Exim Bank facility for pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, the first one is about the protocols for managing these diseases. And let me say that there is a national committee that is handling the issue of what type of medications should be on this protocol. And the Pharmaceutical Society is ably represented on that. And therefore, whatever scientific evidence that is available is always made available to that committee in order that we can get the best. And I think on record, Ghana is known to be one of the countries that is managing COVID patients very well in terms of the protocols we are using. And I believe with the new information on hydroxychloroquine and all the others, definitely there will be review, continuous review of these protocols. In terms of engagements, Pharmaceutical Society has engaged all governments, in the past. And you talked about Exim Bank loan. I think the loan is on. Some have gotten certain percentages. Maybe Lucia might have the details. But all the discussions we have had here is not only about the financial support and financial resources. We are talking about focused strategic development of the industry. And it goes beyond financing. She talked about markets. She talks about prompt payments. She talks about various incentives. And this is what the engagements have been on. We have engaged NDPC, National Development Planning Commission, on a number of occasions on the pharmaceutical sector strategic plan. We have supported the development of its implementation plan and so on. And the discussions are going on. But we are just hammering that these must be taken very seriously and as national priorities.
Thank you very much. We'll take one last question and then we'll conclude. Time is fast spent. Sorry.
Good morning. My name is Kerchwe Bedu, and I represent Class Media Group, specifically Accra FM. My question is one, but in two folds. But first of all, I would like to talk about some of the proactive nature that we exhibit as Ghanaian. When Madame Lucy was speaking, we heard that most often than not, we are not proactive in nature. What can we do as a country so that we will always not wait for something to happen before we attempt to solving it? And also, we are talking about the government not doing much. so that the support the industry needs will come. Should, in case the government listens to this and then always try to do its part of the work, are we going to get genuine assurance from the Manufacturers Association that, because we need a cure for this COVID-19, that is what Ghanaians need? Are we getting genuine assurance that should the government do its part, we are going to get a cure for this COVID-19?
I think we need to refocus this. We are not saying that government is not doing much. We are not particularly mentioning government. We are talking about a national approach, and that transcends governments. And these discussions that we have been having dates back several years when some of us were even young officers in public service. So I want to put it in that context so that we move from there, Lucia.
Okay, so to try and address your question was in two folds. The first part was about being proactive. So of course, being proactive means that having a strategy in place and ensuring that the strategy is implemented. So we have a strategy that has expired. We have another one that's in the pipeline. It hasn't been approved yet, and we are working on it. That's what we mentioned earlier, that we are still engaging. If this is a national agenda, and we are taking it very seriously, we shouldn't wait for one strategy to expire and be sitting on another one for 2 or 3 years. We should have known exactly where we are to ensure that we have enough, let's say, hospitals, we have enough trained healthcare practitioners, we have enough medicines, and all of that to be able to contain this pandemic. Nobody is saying that we knew it was going to hit, but sometimes in being prepared, you have to be able to ensure that you forecasted enough. And let us be fair, the world over, people are struggling, countries are struggling with this. So in all fairness, Ghana is trying. We can do better, but we are trying. In the second part that you spoke about manufacturers, whether we are ready or not, we are a business. Every businessman knows that if I invest this amount of money and I can get good returns, they would invest. Look at the hand sanitizer business. Once people knew that there was demand for it and there was money waiting to be collected, there are big companies, I don't want to mention names, that are non-pharma, that quickly came into the space. So what I'm saying is, if government wants to support, or if there's a national agenda, and every business knows that this is the return on investment, these are the supports, and it makes a lot of sense. Of course, we'll have even non-pharma people coming in to come and support to ensure that everybody is safe for the good of our own country.
Thank you very much. I think Professor Adumako Ohemin was also very clear when he joined us that we have the human resource to find a cure. All that is left is what needs to be brought on board. And so it appears that the language is that we can find a cure if only we are supported. Is that not it? Especially Dr. Apia. You can do that if you are supported. Very sure. All right. Thank you very much. I think that it's been an interesting discussion. This is where we bring the summit to an end. On my far left is Dr. Raymond Tete. He's a lecturer at the School of Pharmacy, Central University. Thank you very much, Doc, for joining us. Followed by Dr. Alfred Apia from the Center for Scientific Research into Plant Medicine in Mampon, Equiapim. And then we also have Lucia Adade. Lucia Adai. She is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana, or Manufacturers Association of Ghana, forgive me. That's Lucia Adai. Thank you very much. She is the only woman in our midst. And then we have the president of the Ghana Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, in the person of Mr. Ben Boche. And my name is Sami Dako. We came to you live from the Nat Hall. This has been the third edition of the Ghana Pharma Summit. Thank you so much for watching us from your homes, offices, and wherever you find yourself. Good afternoon.